Dear participants, good morning. After an exciting first day, we are happy to welcome you back. We have gathered in this short plenary today in order to welcome our speaker and great supporter of the European Policy Dialogue Forum, His Eminence, the Metropolitan Emmanuel, Exarch of the Ecumenical Patriarchate of Constantinople. He is part of the board of directors of KAICIID, among 8 other highly distinguished religious leaders of the 5 world religions, and has dedicated himself to interreligious dialogue. Your Eminence, you have the floor.
Thank you very much, Alexandra. Thanks to everyone who is participating in this second forum. And I'm really glad to be with you. Among these sentiments of sorrow that we have experienced with the tragic events in my own country, in France, but also the day before yesterday, yesterday evening in Vienna. And we are particularly with you in Vienna, who have lived this terrible night. And we hope that we will not have such events in the future. We hope, but this is life. And this is what we go through in a very insecure world. We live in a world where we are supposed to be all brothers and sisters, children of one God, if we can say, not of a lesser God. I was thinking today, in preparing some notes, how would really America would be without immigrants? And how would Europe? Because we have a large number of migrants and refugees today. Probably in the recent years, we have lived these huge numbers of refugees coming after the war in Iraq and Syria. And we have experienced this phenomenon. And I think that this is where our center, KAICIID International Center for Dialogue, in cooperation with, of course, the Network for Dialogue, have a very important role to play at this moment. We are all concerned about the social inclusion measures for refugees and migrants and the role that we, as religious leaders, religious representatives, whatever you want to say, call us, we have to play in it. We have rather to find a way to have oil to soothe the wounds than put oil on fire. And this is our purpose. And this is the purpose of KAICIID, with giving the possibility of the education and the strengthening social inclusion in education. And what is the role of interreligious and intercultural dialogue in education? I was talking to a minister here in France, and I was saying that we need, even in countries where it's a different system and where religion does not have any recognition as such, countries are secular. We have a laicite system, but the teaching of religion and of the religious fact to the schools would be necessary in order to avoid any clashes in the future. Our role is to use education, and education, as we all know, starts from the family, starts from the kindergarten, and goes through the whole time that someone is in school, but also continues afterwards. And this is where I think KAICIID plays a very important role, with specific, of course, ways of building trust in local communities through dialogue. And also, I would add that reshaping really the narratives on migration. We need to see another image of the migration, not in the usual way that we look at migrants and refugees. But in this role, we are not alone as religious leaders. We need the support, and we need to work hand in hand with the policymakers. We need the support, and we need to go together with the political decision makers, with our governments throughout Europe. And at this moment, it's very crucial to join hands. I think that KAICIID has a unique role there, and we have stressed it in the past that we do not need to shoot KAICIID, but we rather need to reinforce KAICIID as a key player in this framework. And I'm not going to give any lessons to anyone, but I think that there the cooperation with the civil authorities is necessary, because sometimes, of course, we see. I was thinking, you are all aware of what happened in Nice a week ago, and we were all shocked, and especially here in France. The person who did that is someone who was a refugee who came from Lampedusa, came from Tunisia, through Lampedusa, Italy, and France. Now, do we need to see behind every refugee a potential terrorist? Never. We will never like to see that. And we will never like to give this image. But we need to prepare our people. We need to prepare the social structure, the everyday person that we need to see in the image of the other, someone who can contribute to reshaping of our Europe, our common home in Europe. And I think we need to show possible ways how to go forward, and how the different policy recommendations where faith-based actors are involved can make a difference, to have the religious identity of refugees and migrants in mind. We need to see that we have not done all our homework. We need to do our homework. We need to see the ways. We have to invent probably ways. We do not have that as a possibility in our hands. And we do not have recipes, but we need to work together with specialists, with psychologists, and we need to work together to accept the other, not to tolerate the other, but to respect the other, to respect religion, to respect the values that Europe has. Definitely, we need to respect our freedoms, our fundamental rights, and Europe is based on these rights of freedom of expression, of freedom of belief, and of freedom of action in a democratic society. And this is the framework where I see that KAICIID, and I would like to express once again thanks to all of you, Alexandra, Francis, Johannes, especially for all you have done to have this second policy dialogue forum on refugees and migrants. The times are difficult, and we see that everywhere. But we do not need to lose our hope. We need to keep on going, because we need love for the other and hope for tomorrow. Thanks to all of you who participate in this forum. I encourage you to continue, and I think we can manage to have better days ahead of us. Thank you very much.